Hey everybody, I'm Kyle Newman at the DPTV Sports Desk. It's trade deadline day in the NBA, and I'm joined by new Denver Post Nuggets beat writer Nick Kosmider. Nick, let's just get right to it. Trade deadline just passed less than an hour ago. Any big movement from the Nuggets?
I want to say big movement. The Nuggets did make a deal at the end of the trade deadline acquiring big man Roy Hibbert from the Milwaukee Bucks in exchange for a future second-round draft pick. Not a huge move for the Nuggets. It's mostly looks like a salary move for them to get up closer to that salary floor. But the Nuggets were in play. They were active at the trade deadline. Reports from ESPN that they made a big pitch for Paul George, who ultimately stayed in place at Indiana. But the Nuggets like their core. They like where they're at, and they were doing what they could to see how this core built around Nikola Jokic could maybe be improved going forward. But in the end, just the minor deal done today.
Yeah, I know that Hibbert deal probably adds some depth, in the paint for them. What else does it do for the Nuggets, and maybe why weren't they able to get that big deal with Paul George done?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many factors when you look at a deal like that would have to be done. Obviously, Paul George is a free agent after the 2018 season, so part of it is whether he would want to re-sign in Denver. There were reports out there that Indiana wanted Nikola Jokic included in any kind of deal that they would make for Paul George, and obviously the Nuggets are not willing to do that. Nikola Jokic is the guy that they're building around, the young center with just otherworldly talents. They're not willing to put him in a deal, and so moving forward, that's one of the big reasons. And I think mostly it was going to take something really special for the Nuggets to make a move, because they do like the core that they have now. They like the direction they're moving in.
And now that the deadline has passed, Nuggets begin their quest for a playoff spot tonight at Sacramento. Nick, what can we expect in these last 26 games to get them to that finish line into the playoffs?
Yeah, so the line from the Nuggets has been that they're building toward the future, and they're really excited about the future given how many rotation and productive players they have who are under the age of 23 years old. So the future in their mind is bright because of that, because of the talent and the young talent that they have. But whether they can hold off the rest of the charging group in the Western Conference, they entered tonight with a 1.5 game lead. So you're playing a Sacramento team that's chasing you in the race, although they just gave up Boogie Cousins to New Orleans. So it's a game that the Nuggets need to go out and try to win to get that stretch started off on the right foot. It's going to be a tough task for them to hold on to that spot. Again, a lot of different teams coming, but they believe that they can start building toward their future and get the added experience of a playoff chase at the same time.
Be sure to follow Nick in his new role as the Nuggets beat writer on Twitter at Nick Kosmider, and be sure to keep it locked into DenverPost.com for continued coverage of the Denver Nuggets.